Hey, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jay the Comedian. I am entering the expressway of doom. That's just the regular 94. But around this time of year, when there ain't no more holiday season, it's the expressway of doom. You gotta get to where you're going as safe as possible. Anyway, today I want to talk to you guys about, family. It's one of those days. I'm feeling all mushy inside. Not because I'm full of Thanksgiving Day food. I'm also fat. So yes, I feel mushy all the time. But today, I'm feeling mushy in the way of family love. And I want to put forth a challenge to any JW that watches my video. Because I want to get you to just think a little bit. There's nothing wrong with thinking, right? God gave you a brain to think, right? That's what you believe. That's what you know, right? Some old dirty apostate, that ain't a dirty apostate trick right there. Getting you to think. Here we go. Let's say, right? You believe in God. He's a God of love. He's not a God who just purely moves off vengeance and anger all the time. He's not a horrible person. He's a pretty good person. He's pretty chill, right? He let a lot of bull crap take place because he could destroy us, but he chooses not to, right? That means that he's a pretty chill dude, in my book at least. And if he's a chill dude and he's a God of love, he can be a God of destruction, but for the most part, he's a God of love and understanding, right? Here's a scenario, right? Let's say you've been shunning your daughter for several years. You know what I'm saying? Like a really long time. Like y'all haven't talked or seen each other in a long time. Let's say that you decide to go against what the organization says, right? I'm gonna do something different. What's the feelings you're gonna have? You're gonna feel fear, right? Like, oh man, I'm angering Jehovah. First off, if going against Jehovah means that you show love to somebody who you probably should be showing love to, that should cause some thoughts right there. Because first off, nobody should be able to tell you what makes Jehovah mad. You know what I mean? Like my dog couldn't tell you what makes me mad, unless it's like, well, he don't like it when you chew up his shoes, so make sure you don't chew up his shoes. That would be accurate. That right there would be accurate. But I think you know that already. You know what I'm saying? My dog ain't gonna be like, oh, don't, he don't eat shrimp, he's allergic. My dog ain't gonna tell you that. That's something you're gonna have to get directly from me. But see, that's the thing. If you decide to go against what the Jehovah Witnesses are telling you, right? And you go to that loved one that you've been shunning for years, and you give them a big, long hug, and you tell them you don't want to go another day without having them as a part of your life. What's the next thing that happens? I'll tell you. There's going to be tears. Lots of tears. Now, they're going to be tears of fear, tears of disappointment, or will they be tears of joy? Because you don't have to actually do this to know what it will feel like. Just put the image in your head of that one person who you just miss so much. And imagine what will happen if you went up to him right now, today, this second, and told him you never want to go another day without him. And you hug him. You know those emotions you feel right now without even doing it? Because you can imagine and put yourself in the shoes of what it would actually be like. You know what it would be like. There will be joy and happiness. And a little bit of freedom. A little bit of, wow, breaking free. See, this is my point. You can't tell me you worship a God of love and happiness and all this greatness when in the end, you can't even show love to people. The people you're supposed to show love to. You're not even showing love to them. How in that point can you then say that the God you worship is a God of love. You can't do something that will bring immediate joy to you and somebody else, and you're telling me that that's what God wants? That's what your God wants. He wants both of you miserable. Because that makes him happy. Both of you miserable makes him happy. Does that make sense to you? Really? If I had a girlfriend and she was like, "Oh, I love you," you know what makes me happy? Every time you fall down and break your leg. Oh, I love it. If you want to really make me happy, you need to find a way to break your leg at least once every 6 months. That's how you make me happy. Oh, that relationship wouldn't last too long. Why do I have to hurt myself to be in a relationship with somebody who truly loves me? It shouldn't go like that. Your relationship with somebody who loves you, they will do any and everything to make sure you are happy. They're willing to sacrifice, go places, do things, any and everything to make sure that at the end of the day, you're happy and you're safe. And you're not feeling scared and worried all the time. You don't have anything on your back. You don't feel guilt all the time. You know what I'm saying? This is how love works, people. This is how it operates. If you have a kid right now, and your kid is telling you that the person that they're dating is never there for them, always, just talking bad to them, and you know what I mean? Like, would you tell that person, "Oh, he must really love you"? No. You'll say he's taking advantage of you and get away from him as soon as possible. Him or her, because it could be both sexes, So how then in turn can you then let a God get away with all the stuff that Jehovah's Witnesses are saying that, it makes him happy? How come your misery makes him happy? Like, "Oh, I have a daughter. I love her very much, but she had premarital bang sessions. I love her so much though, God." Well, I'm sorry. It makes me happy if you get rid of her forever. Or at least until she accepts me. Even though I have these funny rules and regulations, I've given her the ability to, make it really hard for her to ignore those urges. But the point is, she needs to do what I say. And if she's not doing what I say, then you need to leave her alone. And yes, you'll make me happy by going through that horrible, hard thing you'd have to do. Really? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being with somebody who would sit there and have you hurt yourself over and over again to make them happy? Really? I don't like that relationship. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to break that one off. Because relationships and love don't work like that. We've been around long enough to know how love actually works. And whoever that person is that you've cut off, that you've been shunning, that you don't have anything to do with, if you today say, "Nah, forget this. I'm going to go over there and show them love. I'm going to love them. I want you to go over there and hug them. And then I want you to tell me that it is not right. It feels wrong." Tell me that. Tell me that it feels wrong to hug somebody that you love. I want to see that. I need to see that. I don't believe anything like that can and ever will happen. I've never hugged anybody in my life and felt like this is wrong. It just doesn't work that way. When it comes to family and friends and just long-time loved ones, you telling me by greeting them is wrong? Hugging them and being there for them is wrong? See, this is the thing. It takes an organization like the Jehovah's Witnesses to make a feeling like that feel like it's wrong. Because I can tell you now, when you accept somebody back into your life after a long time, Because it's just been a lot of videos online, especially this time of year, of people who've been like out in the military or who have just been away, far away. They live in a different part of the country than everybody else. And they'll come in and surprise their loved ones and don't tell them. When they do that, there's tears of joy and happiness all around. Just pure euphoria. And the Jehovah Witnesses will have you believe that that is wrong in the case of disfellowshipping and excommunication and stuff like that. You should be happy to cut them off because it makes Jehovah happy. I would never serve a God who enjoys the separation of families. I would never worship a God who takes pleasure in just the pure destruction of the family unit. I could never serve anybody who takes pleasure in that. The same way I couldn't date somebody who takes pleasure in me hurting myself. And that's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. But other than that, I hope you and your families are doing great. I hope you and your families can build together and get stronger going toward the future. You know, Scalamini? It's your boy, Jay the Comedian. Holla at your guala. Deuces.